Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. Just wanted to show you what a few miles driving in the Missouri backcountry will do for you. I mean this is the first time I have touched this vehicle, but I think this is like round 5 on the small to mid-sized hunting excursions. Little Beetle, and they do make cheaper ammo. Probably ought to use it. I think 2 or 3 deer and squirrels and possums. I think this last one was a coon, is what I was told. And it did a number on it. That's the radiator support. Smashed this whole corner back. And kind of twisted the radiator a little bit. There you can see it. The top is straight. So this is the bottom corner. Well, there, look at that. And down here, it's made a mess. Surprisingly, the air conditioner was still fully charged. And the condenser sits in front of the radiator, but it just got twisted. It didn't get punctured. The puncture come from the cooling fan. It's busted. I don't know, maybe we can put something underneath it that the cooling fan still works, but we didn't think the AC was going to be charged. I went and got the machine and threw it on there and saw it had a full charge in it, so I recovered it and wondering, you know, we turned on the AC, why didn't it work? I've already bent this line back out, but this line here had been hit. Whenever it got hit, it pushed everything back and it bent this line, and when it did, it broke this sensor right here. This sensor is supposed to set just like this, there, right here, and when that line pushed back, it just snapped it right off. I believe that's the high side switch. It has to have the contact closed in order for the system to work, and if the pressure gets too high, it opens those contacts and shuts it down. But this thing's been worked on and worked on and worked on and worked on, and I'm going to try my best to put it back together correctly. That means doing a bunch of extra work, but say we want it to be right. Anyway, I'm waiting on parts for it. We're going to have to get a new radiator support. We told her well, we could try to make that one work by screwing some plumber's roll and little pieces of steel to reinforce where it's broken. She said, well, I'll just find another one. That's the best option. Got a few things going on today, but not, there's a lot of things. It's just going to be busy all day long. This takes a lot off of our plate as far as work goes for me. But now my boss has got to find that radiator support, which finding parts for these Beetles is difficult. I think there are a few in salvage yards because especially the TDI like mine, They have to have the timing belt replaced at a certain interval, and people never do it. And timing belt breaks, and when it does break, it wipes all the valves out, blows the motor up. So they get parked in the junkyard quite a bit. But the parts are usually kind of high, because the ones that still run, people usually do like them a lot. And this is crash parts. Front end collisions, deer strikes. They use up a lot of those parts, so they kind of stay high. I see them on swap shops every once in a while for dirt cheap because the motor's blown. They probably should have just bought a parts car. So anyway, that shows you what I'm doing today. I got that diesel I worked on last night. You know, the reason that diesel had come out to me was because it had a gigantic fuel leak. He got stuck and was ramrodding it trying to get out, and then when he got out, you know, he's pouring diesel all over the ground. I found a broken return line up there on top of the motor. I have no clue how that happened. But it was a part that I put on 3 or 4 months ago. It just broke the top off of it. My only explanation to that is, you know, he had the turbo wound up pretty good, you know, really pumping the fuel to it, and then jerk his foot out of the throttle, and it spiked the return line pressure. It's a plausible idea, but I don't know. I pulled the parts off and we boxed them up, sent them back to the manufacturer, because no matter what, it shouldn't have broke. Brand new. So then he wanted me to look at a couple other things on the truck, you know, checking brake lights out, and found the problem with them. But then the four-wheel drive, I jacked up one front wheel and gave it a spin. Then I hit the electric button inside to lock it into four-wheel drive, and I heard everything actuate. I spun the front wheel, and the front drive shaft is spinning now, but I get underneath and I'm spinning the front wheel with my foot and listening. The front axle's locked in like it should be. The drive shaft is spinning, the front drive shaft, but it is not locked to the rear drive shaft. And the transfer case sounds like a can of nickels being shook like a maraca. So he's not gonna like that. But it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, use all your buttons down there, share it around. We'll talk at you later.